Hey YouTube, this is part 2 of how to connect this all up. So in part 1 I put a pickup in it, or cut a hole, put a pickup in it, put a fuzz pedal in it, and then now so I kind of did the, what do you call it, the buildy work bit, and then connected it all up. So I've connected this one up a bit differently. I'll probably do enjoy it. I'll continue on after this. I don't know how long this video is. I don't think it's that long. Insane yet. So enjoy and wait for the hey YouTube, I can't remember if I started it. It's basically just me sitting there just fucking making mistakes. Enjoy. Hey, so now there we are in there. Pickup and thing. I was gonna just run the pickup straight into the pedal, but I've decided I don't like cutting wires off in case I want to use it for something else. I'm basically, one of the reasons I'm putting this pickup in is because I always thought that if you put a hot rail in a short scale bass, it's going to sound like an EBO. Don't know it does. I just think it'll work. Yeah. So I've just found a stereo jack socket, but I've got to make the hole bigger to take it. It doesn't fit in the existing jack socket hole to turn on and off the battery. And then I need another knob, and I'm kind of looking at it, and it's like, see this screw hole here? It's like, that's the only bit holding the scratch plate on, so I kind of don't want to put another pot there, so I'm going to have to put the other one there, which is not going to be ideal, but so it'll be like something like that. It's a bit close to the jack socket, but I mean, you can't put one there because of that, so I'm just going to leave it that way. I'm not sure what the knobs are going to be yet. Another thing I've just noticed as well is the knobs that come in these pedals. You can't reuse them on the pots. They're working there, but that's because I don't have a washer on. See, when you put a washer on, they're not long enough to reach over, so you might have to buy other knobs or super glue them on or something. Or maybe just hold it on with that one. Those two are alright because they don't have washers holding them on. Be fine. And I had a look on the back as well, and there is room for a battery. What I did with it, that's just it in the back there, so wherever I put that battery I had 5 minutes ago, it fits in, and it's kind of tight against the back of that. It's just a wee bit tight. See, it's just a millimetre high, which means it'll get held tight with the back plate. It doesn't rattle a bit. That's not a problem. Sorted. Yeah, also I'm going to use a push-pull pot because that coil splits, so I'll coil split it anyway, just for the sake of it. Also might do a wee bit of fanning about. Not really sure how this is going to work. I'm using it as an experiment thing, doing it for fun. That's right, I'm filming doing it. It's not using it big. It shouldn't take very much to do that. That's the one that fitted to that. I'd rather put a washer on if I can. It's just. Yep. So this needs to feed the battery. So when you plug the cord in, I'm turning American. You plug the jack in, the guitar in. That's actually go there quite nicely, I think. Yeah. I want to make this easy to put back together again as well, because Jen's going to paint it, so it's, well, ultimately it might be me putting it back together again, so I might as well make it easy for myself, or it could be Jen putting it back together again, in which case I like Jen, so I'll try to make it easier for her anyway. Not any problem doing it. It's nice sometimes when you go to put a guitar together, you go to take one to bits, and whoever it was that was in it last time left a wee easy bit. You know what I mean? It's like, yay! Feel they've achieved something. I'm just going to take that as absolutely just guessing halfway between there and there what looks about right, which I'm just going to say is about there. And then that's going to take. I don't think I'm going to be able to save. I think I'm going to have to start disconnecting this. Oh no, there's enough room to get the volume and the tone in. Okay, I just need one a hole that size. That's not very big. Well, big enough. technical stuff here. So the whole point of doing it this way is, I suppose, thinking about this when I was doing it, you know, ultimate upgrade for a short scale bass. And to be honest, I mean, assuming it's going to turn out like Judge Death, I find that eminently usable. It's one of those things that once you've got a fuzz and a bass, especially with that thing you can blend between the two, it's like, why would you not have fuzz and a bass? It's like, I need, no, what reason do you have for not having it? It's like, you'd never use it. Well, don't turn it on. You still want to use it sometimes. And how do you know you'd never use it? You've never had one. Is it big enough? Yeah, so I've just got, really the only hard bit. Well, this is all, what do you call this? I think we call it donkey work, but you know, this is not luthier work. It's kind of, is it more so than like Meccano or something, or Lego? That it's almost that kind of thing. Or you just sitting there, just if you like to tinker with things. But let's be honest, I do. There's not much to it. All I'm really all the wires I'm going to add now are. Is that me right down to it? That's it. So next, what I need to do is run the battery clip. I've still got to find the wire so I can point things out. That light's kind of weird. It's good for me, but you can really see it. Yeah. So I've got. Where's the battery clip? Right. So there's the battery clip. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to run the red, which is the positive, to the outside of this of the input socket, because these are center negative. You know, they always say, "Oh, boss center negative." That's the center, and that's the shield, the outside. So the red is going straight onto there. That's all that's going onto there. This black is going all the way to the stereo socket, and it's going to go to the ring tip sleeve. The ring, which is the middle one. So it's that one there. It's going to this one there. That's from the battery. It's going straight to there. All right, and then the earth, the shield from this, is just the earth. So that's basically the only way it's getting. The only way that the battery gets earth is when you join the earth to it using. Yeah, so those two. So that's two wires. I want to put one on there, and the earth goes to there, and then yes, then you run another earth to there. Do I need another earth? I don't think I do. It just stays on earth. Doesn't matter. Whatever. So that's that wire to there. I feel I should be connecting something to the black. Should go the other way? Does the black? No, the black can't go. Yeah, I'll earth it anyway. So I'll run an earth wire running through and to the black. So that's one wire going to there, one black wire going to there, another black wire going to a proper earth, and then an in and an out wire that I'm just going to solder onto the bottom of this board, where the actual pins are on the underside. You can take these off, but I can't be bothered. It's easier just to you have to break into it. Now you have to. I've done it on all the last ones. You go in and you solder two wires on, an in and an out, and then they go along there, and then they just run through there, and then that's the next stage. So stage right now is trying to find my spindle of wire, which I'm pretty sure I'm sitting on, and then I'll heat up the soldering iron. Right, soldering time. I can't find that spool of wire again. I do have a couple of bits that were used for an attempt at doing something earlier on. Yep, so order of the day is, I suppose I've got to put the power supply onto that. I'll run the output wires first, right? So I've got to find the output wire of the thing. Well, if I'd make one of them black, one of them blue, I can probably tell which is which, can't I? Does it really matter? Right, so I'm going completely by memory here. Oh, the light is awful. What am I doing? I've got another light. I've I can just open the window, but then I can't do a video. It's a bit more like it. Right, so I'm sure it's that one there. Well, there's a way of checking these things. I'll stick that in there. It didn't have to go all the way in. That's not right. That's it in there, right. So now if I get my meter of multitude, I can now discern which tag is which. So what I'm thinking is, if I'm looking in there and I look at that tag in the bottom, I think that's the shield, that one, isn't it? So that should give me a solid reading if I do that. It does. Whereas that one there, which is the back, I'm just double checking this. I'm pretty sure that I'm right. I'm pretty sure that that tag there, if I can actually get at it, that one there is the tip. Yep, okay, so it's the back left. So basically if you're looking at this, you're not seeing it. If you're looking at the back of this here, that one there, the one back left, is the centre of your jack input. And it's the same on both of them. Well, it's the back left on both of them, so that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to put the back left on. It's really hot today. It's just gradually, it's now 3 o'clock, it's just getting hotter and hotter as the days go on, as the day goes on. Not complaining, no. I'm complaining a bit, right. So I think I want to run, can I get it that side? I said back left, okay, I'll just do that one there. I can get it that one from this side. So if I just run a blob of solder onto the terminal. Yeah, but as I started saying, the whole point of doing this is be able to do it without any proper luthier equipment. Just doing it, you know what I mean? What you really got to lose. You can't, yeah. Right, that should be enough. Right, where was that bit of wire going? Right, just put the shoulder onto the wire. You can sort of see what I'm doing, maybe. Right, that's one. Which is probably going to be comically not low enough to... I don't know, it's good. It's only just going to be long enough. Right, that's one, so I'm going to do the other one in blue just so they're hard to get mixed up. And I'll remember which one's an output and which one's an input. That's wet enough. Oh, that's the sweat dripping down my forehead now. It shows you how hot it is. This is obviously getting done for today's video. It's 3 o'clock, so you're probably watching this at 7 o'clock. And hopefully it'll be quite a condensed little video, and at the end it'll have me playing this and going, whoa, isn't it great? The number of times I thought about putting another pickup into the wee red bass, but I didn't want to destroy it. It's kind of... The whole point with that bass was it was a tenor bass. It only cost a tenner, but I gradually ended up putting more bits on it, and no longer a tenor bass. Well, okay, this is maybe about a £30 bass, but I mean, still, I bought that for reasons of doing a... This is right fidgety. I'm having to come in and solder to the underside, the pins on the underside of this board. Of course, if you knew what you're doing, you could probably take these straight off the board. These lines. I'm not going to do that though. Right. Oh, wouldn't it be nice if I could run that up there? That's never going to go up there, is it? Flipping might. It might, you know. And my technique's getting slightly better at doing these, I think, the more I do it. If that could go in there, that's going to be super mega neat. Come on. Missed. Did that actually go on? It did, right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run that to there, and then put a wee bit of heat shrink shield on to keep it all super tight and neat and easy to put back together again. Then some open packets of that crap. I'm sure I've got a wee box of this sitting somewhere. Right there. I'm sure there was a box that I put all that stuff in. Well, we'll just open up more packets of it and just have more of it lying about. That red would probably do quite nicely. And that is definitely hooked onto the right thing. Yep. Right. I'll put that through there. Might as well make it look nice. And then, should I put that through there as well? And I'll put this through here as well. Right, and that means I can route that kind of in like that, route that kind of like that, pull that through, and then this will kind of almost bungee cord onto that, I think. I did that's pretty neat, if the light wasn't so bad. Let's see, so, and then that's connected to there, so this should be quite an easy to install and remove thing, although looking at it, it does have to go round a freaking annoying bend there, doesn't it? Like, well, accept it for what it is. Right, what's next? I suppose I'll fit that push-pull pot, which I've flung away there. This is the pickup. Nice than that. Okay. Okay. Right. Right, so what does this have to do? This has to take... Oh, I was going to run... It's still just going to be I kind of like that pot to be there physically, just... so I can wrap that round it like that. But that kind of has to go... More out in line with the pickup and then kind of round there. I'm just trying to make this as neat as possible, which isn't the easiest one. Do I run the battery wire now? Do I leave the battery wire to the end? I'll leave the battery wire to the end. Right, so if I run that, right, I'll tin all the points in this and work out how I'm going to do a coil split. The simplest version of a coil split is probably the best one. It is a 6-terminal switch, so that's only using 3 terminals, so the temptation is to make a series parallel, but I can't be bothered. It was also the original when I was looking for pots, and the first one I found was a push pull. So I could do a series, you know, a master series parallel, which would knock you get a hot rail and a P-bass pickup in series, which would be an absolute monster of a thing. But nah. I hope is this guitar thick enough to take a push pull? Yes. good. I had that problem before. Right, so basically all that is to do, I'm just going to run one of these. I'm going to say that that's the earth of the pickup, so that could just go straight onto the back of the pot and be out the way and not to be thought about again. Boom. And then the two coil split wires can go onto the middle. That's the one thing that doesn't have a solder on it, the one I managed to miss. Okay, don't solder it now. Like that, and that can go into the middle terminal. Stop trying to be so neat and just do it. Right, so that's the tap wires both connected up, and now we've got the wire that sends it to the pedal, which I'm actually going to send that straight to the pedal. And if I'm looking at this, I got this wrong the last time. So if I'm looking at the pedal, in, which is where the pickup's going, is on the right side, which is this one. So it's the wire that comes out the back of that, which was the black wire. So it's this black wire gets connected to that black wire, and then we're all happy. And then that's basically the output of this pickup going straight into the pedal. Now, to be honest, I can't remember how I did it last time, whether it went into the pedal then it went to the volume control, or whether it went to the volume control then went to the pedal. Either way, it's doing either one of those two, whatever one it feels like. Doesn't really matter. This is going to be a multi-part video, isn't it? So these things, they don't take that long, but when I look down at it, it's taking me all day. You know, it's not. There is a certain amount of work involved in it. Oh. Right, I've seen folk melt this stuff with soldering irons. It doesn't seem to work for me. The lighter seems to do it better. Also, I'm just sticking my hands of solder on it. There you go. That's good enough. Good enough. Good enough. Right. And that's the output of the pedal. So the output of the pedal goes straight to the... Am I going to wire this like... Oh, it's got to be wired like a jazz bass, isn't it? It's got to be wired to a jazz bass. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to snip that and then just stick it straight in there. Straight into the centre lug. I've still got to do an outside earth, and I need to remember that for the lug. Yeah, the other outer lug. So what other ideas about putting... I don't know, pedals and guitars? I've definitely got enough room for... There's enough room for a couple of pedals in some of the guitars. A Telecaster can take two. Right, that's that. That's the input done. Right, I'm going to put that output wire on just while I can, to earth the outside before it gets too complicated in here. All I'm going to file that wee bit there. Got a file. That'll do. I'm just going to do it with a guitar string because that's quite cool. Notice that I forgot to say that the earth in that Gibson Les Paul is a guitar string, the one that comes from the bridge. But yes, somebody thinking about these things. You know what I mean, rather than just no, I've just copied it, and it's like, yep, you don't need an earth wire there. Same with I keep seeing it with tellies as well. No point with the telly is it's put on that metal plate, and you don't need to use any earth wires because it's on the metal plate. Right, where's... It's looking for a bit of guitar wire. It's like, do I have a bit any old... That'll do, just use this. any old shitty wire. It's just to connect. And I'm just going to assume, I don't know why I should, that the two pickups are going to end up in phase, but I mean that can be altered later on easily enough anyway if they're not. I'm leaving options always. How did I manage that? Is this I'm doing soldering you can't see club? It is. Oh. There you go. You can tell that I'm doing it because it's now done. All I was doing was just connecting the edge there, so I'm just going to cut that off with a pair of snipes. Oh, there's no shielding plate in this. That's probably I should probably have put one on. Can't be bothered now. Is it that much effort? Can't be bothered. I'll get Jen to do it when she puts the guitar back together again. Oh, and you just it's a thing made onto it. It does have a fuzz pedal going through it, so is shielding a good idea? Nah. Right. So where's my pickups? Right, so hopefully I won't have to go back to this. Yellow. Hot yellow. Hot yellow. Cool green. Yeah. Hot yellow, cool green. So that's the pickup off. I don't need that. That can come off. Just swap these over. Me taking off the mono jack socket, ready to put on the stereo jack socket. My granny used to say, it's got a stereo. Right. Just go in there. Need to remember to put the earth wire in as well. I was pointing at that in one of the speeded up bits in case you wondered what I was pointing at. Pointing at the earth wire going, remember there's an earth wire there? In this case it's yellow. I feel like that could be a little bit less restricted. Oh, let me go over the top. There we go. I'm expecting to have to Dremel because I put another pot in, you always do. Doop. If I can pull that back a bit. That's fine. No, let's be ridiculous here and just move that earth, put that wire behind that earth and use that earth to physically hold that in the right place. A structural earth. Right, doop. And then we've got the black wire and we've got that's another earth. Oh, that's the earth for the bridge. That's the output, so that can just go straight to the tip, which is that one. This is the output for the P-bass pickup. Well, it's the output for both the pickups. Bingo! And then I just run that to that wire as well, so I'll just run them both together. Need a bit of wire going from that lug to there. That earth wire doesn't go anywhere. That earth wire is just the main earth, so it doesn't need to be. Output tip earth is there. Okay, yep. I am talking to myself a little bit, but I've nobody else here. I wonder how long this video is going to be. Do it in real time. Yeah, I haven't actually stopped to have anything to eat. And that's the actual earth. Right. So I just need to put a wire that goes from the output, or the output lug of the P-bass pickup into the jazz bass, the hot reel, the extra pickup, just one wire, and then the only other wire that needs to go in is the battery, and then it should all fire up and be working, and then I should be able to just put the guitar back together again in a couple of minutes in a speedy up thing, and all the stuff's lying on the floor next door. What am I doing with this again? It's going to this will be lug 3 of the push-pull pot. Probably shouldn't have bothered putting the coil split in, but right. Outside lug to other outside lug. I could run it to the tone control. I'll run it to the tone control. Nah. Do I run it straight to the output? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't make any difference at all because they're getting mixed. Everyone's getting mixed up crazily at some point anyway. Right, I still need to do another earth as well. I need to do an earth for the push-pull pot. It would have been probably quicker just to take it off and put foil on, but I would have put the earth wire on anyway. Solder. I had it in my hand 2 seconds ago. Ouch. Why is that so hot and not sticking? That's annoying. And then one last earth. Go to the push-pull pot from the top. That's good. Onto the bottom of the thing. I'm not looking forward to putting. I might actually cut the end of that, the earth to the bridge wire off, because I can't bird poking that frayed end all the way through the body. It might not go through easily. Right, so now all I need to do is put the battery wire, which I need to extend. Right, the battery wire goes to the red, goes to the red. Yes, so the red goes to there, okay. Should probably snip this, can't be bothered. I'm just putting this onto the edge of the Boss type power socket thing on the pedal, because these pedals don't actually take batteries. They don't seem to mind taking batteries though. if you can fit one, so that just stays there, and that gets poked through this wire here and then connected onto that, and then that goes to the thingy, and then I do need to run another earth wire back. It's not all going to fit through this. fine. Right, I need a bit of shrinky wrappy packet. Solder it onto the end of this. Not going to have to be extended that much actually. I'm just going to run that through. I'm going to tie it round some things just to kind of loopity doopity and keep it all kind of neat looking. Like that, and then it's going on there. And that's all it needs to do. And that is the middle, yep, that's right. And then I think I've still got to run an earthwire to the pedal. This is just putting the battery in. Well, mind you, once it's connected up. Alright. I don't know. My brain's fogged. Try to do too many things at the same time. And honestly, it makes it 50% harder trying to do it when I'm doing a video. That's a good connection. That, yeah, and then whether I need that other earth or not, it's not going to do any harm to run one. Even if it's going to be a blue earth. But that's not going to poke through that hole, is it? No. Right, okay. But yes, I do definitely need this. The more I think about it, the more it is necessary to have. So this is the going to the negative centre of the jack socket. I suppose you could run it like that now. It just goes to any earth point. Just put it there on the bridge pickup. Do it. If I run that round here and then kind of jiggly wiggly it round that. A couple of times it'll hold it together. Also provide the extra shielding. This is earth going round all the power wires, so that's like wrapping a Faraday cage round it. Yeah, that's why I'm doing it. Putting that onto the main earth point. There's another wire coming in to go in there as well. Still got the green from the bridge pickup, from the P-base pickup to go in. Right. So apart from that, can I put that? I was taking. I can't put that in. Can I put that in? That'd be nice. Try and poke this wire through the hole. But I mean, I'm imagining I'm going to have to do some rearranging of things because I've put an awful lot of wires, an awful lot of extra things in here. And this wire was very much pushed through from the other side, but I'm going to try and do it, see what happens. It might not even go in the hole. This is getting given up on any second. Oh no, I think it's actually going to work. There we go. So that's the earth wire for the bridge in, and if I'm a little bit, the battery's obviously getting in the way. I can see that. Right, like that, like that, like that. And that goes in there. Why is that like that? What's not fitting? That wire there. Need to go round that. It doesn't want to. I can get that round that. Why is it not going in? This is turned into the nightmare that I was trying to avoid by being clever earlier on. All the wires are just a little bit tight. Nearly. It's nearly gone in. It's going to go in. It's going to go in. It's just not going to enjoy it very much. It kind of wants to be more that shape. And that is to put it, I think it's going to be all right. I think we're all right. P-bass pickups, I suppose. I did say green was clean and yellow was hot, so I'll put them back in that way. Right, yellow goes to the centre lug of the volume control. Oh, come on. Oh, see the cheap wires they use for making pickups? So annoying, they just don't... It's actually, it looks like quite good wire as well. It's just that they don't make it so it's as easy as it could be. Stayed. Right, and then that one's just at the earth. Right, so I suppose the thing to do is to try and plug it in and see if it works, isn't it? Before I bother trying to fidget all this back together again, which is going to be a pig. I'll just plug it into the amp and stab it with a screwdriver and see if things work. Power. Oh. Leads. Oh. Yep, I suppose this time I actually remember to put the battery in before I tried it. So if I put this in, then it should still be, and then volume down, on. Yeah, I think that's working. You don't get the best distortion tones hitting the things with a screwdriver. It's not the best way of doing it. Right, I need to get the screws from next door. This is just going to be 10 minutes of me fanning about with this. I know it is. It's not going to want to go back together again, because they never want to go back together again. They never do. Pure shat it there, just get the message of the love or whatever it is the Jehovah's Witnesses call themselves stuck through the door there. Right. So this is all this wires and shit has to go in here. Am I going to try and put those pickups back where they go first? I think it might be the easier way. P-bass pickups are a nightmare to put in. Right. We've got one. I might suggest, it depends on how these sound. The ones in the wee red bass weren't very good. I might suggest that Jen puts more expensive ones in and we can put it back together again. I did have a set of Warmans that I put in a bass and they were fantastic. Bog standard, whatever they were called, P-bass pickups, and they were just really good ones, and it's just, that's what you want. Don't need to be anything fancy. Just not the cheapest ones you can get. Another one of the joys about this is a guitar that's already, or a bass even. Oh, there's not an awful lot of room there for this wire. Ah! Yeah, I've got a solution. The solution is I'm going to get the angle again. I'm just going to go vroomf, and then that's all going to be sorted. Back in a minute. Very nearly on. Very nearly, just not. I've just got a few wee pokey bits I've got to poke down to. There you go. I hate it when you're kind of holding something down with the scratch plate. This way, you know, it's actually flat all the way around, apart from there's slight indents in the scratch plate. But one of these screws didn't come out. I can't remember which one it was. But it's just to hold it, and I've not lost that. No, good. That's not a very big bit of wire. I might choose that to make that a little bit better. No, I think it'll be alright. It'll be alright. Right. And just put it back together again. I mean, I've not really any way of knowing until I've done this that whether the pickups are in series or in, what do you call it, or not. Without strings on it. You can't tell whether they're in phase or not. If they're not, it's a case of swapping over the yellow and the green wire in the back of the pot. It's not that bad. It doesn't mean I have to take the bits again, which is annoying, but that's just the way things are. Right, and it's normally a good idea to put the neck on before you tighten up all these scratch plates, because sometimes the scratch plate doesn't quite fit on and the neck kind of pushes it out the way, but that doesn't look too bad for being in line, and I think it's a pretty funky looking bass. Right, so I'll get the drill bit back in the drill and go and put this back together again, tune it up and see if it works. Cheers! Right, so as I was saying, it's up and running. I was playing it last night for a couple of hours. I'm liking it. I'm also playing through the Black Star Fly bass, which because I got the cube bass first, it's very loud. You can play along with an acoustic guitar, no problem, drown them out. That, no you can't, but you can just play the bass in the house at a normal volume. I do have it mic'd up. If I kill that, it's the volume it's at in here. Which, to be honest, is perfectly acceptable for live streaming. Yep, so this one's worked out a little bit differently. You'll see when I'm doing it. I was looking at, I was going to stick the pickup straight into the pedal, and like cut the wires, and it was like, at one point I decided I was going to put in a coil split, so I've got to have all the wires down there, so luckily I ran the wire from the pickup all the way to here to use to operate the coil split thing, and then sent the signal back to the pedal and then into the volume control. That's not the way to do it. Well, it works, but it works in a different way, because the thing about the one I've got in Judge Death, which is the same pedal, is it's like if you put very little signal into the fuzz pedal, it kind of breaks up and does something different. That's one of the things, one of the joys of like a proper fuzz pedal, is if you start turning the volume down, it starts sort of cleaning up, and then it starts farting and rasping and doing all that stuff, because there's not enough signal to properly operate the fuzz pedal. Whereas this one, the fuzz pedal's getting the full pickup all the way, so basically all you're doing is controlling the volume of the output, which is it's just a different way around it. But it really is. It's going to be difficult to go, I'm going to have to put fuzz pedals and everything. It just fills up so much more space than having it off. to change it so that the fuzz pedal goes the other way, it's coming to bits anyway. Jen will paint it, so it'll be coming to bits. It's just a case of moving, like literally swapping 2 wires over. So instead of sending it to the fuzz pedal and then to the volume control, it goes to the volume control, then the fuzz pedal, and then out. So it's literally just swapping over 2 wires. But it does kind of work. I think it's kind of probably not the one Jen would want really. I think she probably would just want a big button you stamp on. That's it. So having like controls and being able to blend the pickups together, you can sit there and tone tweak for hours. So this is just the fuzz pedal on the neck. I mean, that's fine. That's great. That's kind of, I think, what Jen will end up using this for. Whereas I just think if you've got some of the original signal that blend in the fuzz, you just end up with this. The tone control's not very good either. I'm going to change it. Also, I think one of the other things that's, if you listen to this, right, so this is the tone control down quite low. This is just the tone control. So the tone control takes away all the fuzz, so you can kind of add in the fuzz by adding the fuzz and then fixing it in with the tone control. So what that is telling me is trebly sounds work for the fuzz. The fuzz doesn't really distort the bassier sounds the same way. Yep. So, although it looks cool as fuck, and I always wanted to do it, the hot rail in the neck for this application is probably not as good as a hot rail here, which would be treblier. It wouldn't be as high output, but it would be treblier, which I think would give the fuzz pedal more to fuzz with, which is what the way the Judge Death has a fucking big massive humbucker in it, big super output thing. So, is the wee red bass going to be getting a fuzz pedal put in it? I think so. It's going to be a right bastard to do, though, because it doesn't have a scratch plate to hide it behind, so I'm going to have to... I don't know. I just can't imagine. Also, I'm going to have to do a video on the wee Black Star bass amp, which I had been giving shit reviews to, saying it was just rubbish. It's not the same thing as the Roland Cube bass. The Roland Cube bass is like a, maybe not play along with a drum kit, like you play along with a light drummer, but proper bass amp. The Black Star Fly is for sitting playing in the house, and to be honest, at these volumes it might even sound better than most bass amps. what I was trying to do before was try to get volume out. It's got like an overdrive and shit. It sounds shit, but it sort of doubles the volume, so you can play at a volume that would, and you'd be able to play along with an acoustic, someone battering an acoustic. But when you've got it up that loud, there's no sound. It just sounds pure. You know what I mean? There's just the fuzz just tames all that. It's amazing. Where this sort of thing's going to come in really amazing is if you've got, like, I don't know, you're plugging into a PA, you know, you're having a jam or something, and it's just like there's like a spare channel on someone's amp, just because you get that much more control over it, you can do what you want. But I would so much rather have a bass with a fuzz pedal plugged into the PA because the bass amp blew up, rather than just going straight in. I'd have no problem working out stuff just using that. Also, see, to get the better sound, you can't have it up too loud, otherwise the speakers just fart in an uncontrollable way. It does mean when you're trying to work out stuff, when you're playing along with records and stuff, you don't have to have the stereo pure banging loud. You know, you're sitting up here turning it up so you can hear the bass and get a decent sound out of the bass. Whereas this one, because the good sound is available at a lower volume. What I'm really noticing with this one is I'm putting new strings on Judge Death, because Judge Death has 3 Roto Sound strings because there was only 3 in the packet, that's why I get given them, and the other string's different. So this one, see, having the G string the same volume as the other 3, wow, it's amazing. And the other one is just, on Judge Death, it's just too much. Da 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 da. Just you know, it's just kind of like that. So we're playing standard tuning again on a bass. Talking to pure super bendy strings. So, have a go at sticking, what was it, I worked out, 20 quid. So have your bass, it can be a short scale bass, 20 quid if you have a scratch, basically a P bass with a scratch plate that's got room to take one of those pedals. The pedals are like about a tenner or something. The pickup's going to be a £5 or something like that, then a pot, and then some wiring. Yeah. It's one Temu delivery away, and it's like one of those things that I've not done it yet. Stuck it into an expensive guitar. The way I'm looking at it, something like this, you know, we Encore short scale bass, not worth a lot of money. It's worth more money now. I would say it's worth easily £20 more than it was before I put £20 worth of stuff in it. So that's, you know, the way of looking at these things. Maybe if I'd cut them in, you know, I stuck it in the Les Paul, it's going to decrease the value of that Les Paul quite a bit because it's got a big hole cut in it. Whereas with this, it's like, that's not, you know what I mean? So I need to get, I quite fancy having a really good guitar that's got a fuzz pedal in it, but it would have to be pretty beat up, and I wouldn't want to damage the residual value because people are, well, I don't know why you don't get basses with fuzz pedals in them. Maybe people think, oh, you might not want fuzz. Why? How could you not want fuzz? There's just a hot rail. it's not the best bass sound. It's a little bit... It's alright. There's enough of it there. Needs a bit of fizz. Right, that was another really long video. It wasn't meant to turn out that way. So I shall see you at the end of the week.